Lando Norris is at risk as Fernando Alonso now takes over at P11. Sebastian Vettel crosses the line and it's 12th fastest for Vettel, gets himself out of the bottom 5. George Russell now at risk, but he's setting personal best out on his lap. Lando Norris goes fastest overall, 1:17.80, got held up on his first flying lap. Nothing to harm his chances on the second flying lap, and he's safely through to Q2. Tsunoda now at risk as George Russell tries to make it into Q2 and does. Mr. Saturday does it again, and he has put that Williams into Q2. It's Yuki Tsunoda, who is the big shot really, making his way out of qualifying in an AlphaTauri where his teammate is 5th.
Yeah, and Kimi Raikkonen's looked a lot better than that through free practice as well. Did not really expect him to end up down in 17th, if I'm honest.
Crossing the line, Sebastian Vettel misses out by just a few hundredths and is 13th fastest. Lance Stroll next to cross the line, can't improve on his time. He stays 8th fastest overall. Esteban Ocon goes 7th overall, pushes Stroll down 1 and Gasly down 1, and Daniel Ricciardo is in the bottom 5 as Sergio Perez now goes 5th fastest overall. But Ricciardo, flying through the first sector, has gone purple there. A personal best in the middle sector is now going to try and knock out Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin. Can Ricciardo, who started 13th on the grid last 2 years here in Spain, make Q3 this weekend? He can. 8th fastest for Daniel Ricciardo, pushes the Aston Martin out of that top 10. Ricciardo squeezes in, and that's what his team boss Andreas Seidel very much wanted. Giovinazzi will be the last driver to cross the line. He's gone personal best, not quite sure it's going to be enough for the top 10, but he does go ahead of George Russell. Stroll misses out by just 0.08 of a second, and his teammate Sebastian Vettel by just 0.05 of a second. They are 2 of the 5 that won't be taking part in Q3. Pierre Gasly doesn't make it into Q3 for the first time this season. Giovinazzi 14th and George Russell 15th will be going for pole in a moment. Lando Norris makes his way through turn 9. Is he flat? Of course.
Lando's really using the extremities of the racetrack.
Daniel Ricciardo, who leads Lando Norris 2-1 in qualifying so far this season, was a 10th of a second ahead of his teammate through the first sector. Norris has lost time to Leclerc, 2/10 that he had in an advantage during that middle sector. Sainz 28.9, fastest man overall through the middle part of the lap. Ocon and Alonso, a little bit of drift of the McLarens and the Ferraris as it stands so far. Norris crosses the line, 1:18.0 is the time then to beat. Charles Leclerc will cross the line next and does beat it, 1:17.7. He was much faster, 0.3 faster through that final sector. Carlos Sainz then goes ahead of his teammate Charles Leclerc. The two Ferraris separated by less than 1/10 of a second, and Daniel Ricciardo goes second fastest by just 0.02 of a second.
Daniel's finding some confidence, and that's
Sergio Perez having a spin at turn 13 towards the end of the lap. If they're still showing yellow flags, Lewis Hamilton slowing down. As you can see, that has wrecked his flying lap, and he is setting personal best first sector, overall best middle sector. He'll have lost time because of that Perez spin.
It looks like Perez turned in from the curb, judging by the skid marks, and Hamilton still goes fastest.
He certainly slowed down though, we could see it, but by how much? Verstappen 3/100ths of a second behind Hamilton. A 1:16.7 for him. Here's Valtteri Bottas 10th adrift, goes 3rd fastest overall. So Verstappen is going to be right on his tail, getting that slipstream down the main straight. Could Valtteri Bottas inadvertently help Max Verstappen to pole position here? Or could Hamilton solve all the problems out there by himself? Take it away, Martin.
76 seconds to heaven then for one of these drivers today. And Lewis really loading up the rear axle with torque in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Up to turn 4, it's bumpy on the way in. Get it in early, connect up, and walk the car to the outside. Flick right for turn 5. Do not lock the brakes on the way into 5. Front of that car working pretty well. Hard on the throttle from the middle of the corner. Forget turn 6. It's an annoyance. This is one that matters. 7 and 9 blind up the hill. just all throttle, isn't it? All the way round. How's it looking for the sectors, Crofty?
Advantage Hamilton so far from Verstappen and Bottas, but Perez with a personal best 21.8 through that first sector. He is within contention as well. 28.7 for Hamilton, but matched by Valtteri Bottas in the middle sector. Verstappen is off the pace by about 1/10 at the moment. It's looking good for Lewis Hamilton and for Mercedes, but don't forget, Verstappen mighty strong in the final sector, and Lewis wasn't great coming out of the chicane there. Hamilton crosses the line. Provisional pole is his, but he doesn't improve on his time. Valtteri Bottas next across the line. He denied Hamilton last week. Can he do it again? No, he can't. So it's Hamilton and Verstappen and Bottas. Can Verstappen get pole? No, he can't get pole, but his teammate Sergio Perez is going well behind. Out of the final corner now. Realistically, one car to deny Hamilton pole today, and Perez doesn't. It's a ton of poles for Lewis Hamilton in Formula One. The Spanish Grand Prix pole, his 100th in his Formula One career.
That's nice work, very nice work. So yeah, that first time stood.
Yes! Great job, guys. That was hard work. Oh, that was hard work.
Yeah, you betcha, Lewis. That wasn't easy, was it?
It is now 100 pole positions for Lewis Hamilton. 5 constructors have done that in Formula One. He is the first driver to achieve it all by himself, and I'm sure this moment is just sinking in. Outside of the top 3, full credit to Charles Leclerc and Ferrari. 3rd time this season that Leclerc will start 4th on the grid. Esteban Ocon 5th on the grid, and that is a sensational performance from him as he out-qualifies Fernando Alonso once again. Carlos Sainz will start 6th in his home race. Daniel Ricciardo 3-1 now in his teammate battle with Lando Norris will start 7th. Perez a disappointing 8th eventually. Norris will be disappointed with 9th too. Alonso has to settle for 10th.